Hey everyone, welcome to day 14 of the 30-day challenge. This is Peter Schenk of moderndaymystic.com. Today we're going to continue working with the piece of technology called the 12th Project 4.0, and we're going to move right into the 7 physical chakras. Now, the 12th project started with the 12 virtuals in iteration 1 and 2 and continued to add the 7 physical chakras in version 3, and of course improved upon all the technology in version 4. So today we're going to be working, we're going to go through 3 or 4 of the chakras, and tomorrow we are going to do the other 3 or 4 chakras. Now again folks, take your time when you're doing these. Where you put your attention, the intention will follow. So with that said, have your glass of water ready. Here we go. We're working with the crown first. 3, 2, 1. We are now water prepping the crown chakra water. We are now user prepping the water. And we are now nucleating the crown chakra. At this stage, folks, you want to kind of watch the water because it really does some cool stuff. It can start to bubble, it can move around, it can vibrate. Sometimes it crawls out of the glass, sometimes it'll soak through the glass, just depends. Okay, moving right into the third eye, where you put your attention, the intention. You'll want to use a new glass of water, folks, just FYI. Water prepping the third eye water. Now user prepping the third eye water. We are now nucleating the third eye water. This one is very strong, by the way. Okay, moving right into the throat chakra. Where you put your attention, the intention will follow. You'll want another glass of water for this. Water prepping the throat chakra. User prepping the throat chakra. We are now nucleating the throat chakra. Again, day 14 of the 30-day challenge. Stick with it, folks. Beautiful stuff still to come. And, you know, it is all of our hopes and aspirations that we are bettering your lives in ways that you have never seen before. Thank you.
And good morning, Reno Soriano here, the Conscious Health Alchemist, day 14 of your Holistic Health Challenge. Okay, so today I want to talk about a very important topic, which most of my topics are, but I would say this is one of the most important because most people are either neglecting to follow this practice or they just don't know about it. It's what I call grounding, which is basically getting in touch with Mother Earth, and a lot of people just don't understand how important it is. It's actually a requirement for your being. It's a requirement for health, and it's more important than nutrition. And so what I see is too many people, they're flying and zipping and going here and going there, and they're always in synthetic stuff. They're in their car, they're in their building, they're in their house, they're going to the store, but they're never really grounding. And then, you know, and a lot of people are hurting right now. And one of the greatest therapies that's simple and free is called grounding. And basically it's just going and laying or touching bare skin to Mama Earth. Okay, so if you, like I live here in the desert, I come hiking and I sit on rocks, or I sit in the desert. There's been times where I've literally just laid on rock in Sedona. I would just lay. Why is that? Because it's nourishing my being on multiple dimensions. It's beyond physical nourishment. Okay, we are electromagnetic beings. We need that sustenance from Mother Earth, and most people are not aware of that. And this stuff is simple and free, and most people aren't doing it. Why? Because they're too busy going for the money and doing these superficial things that are getting you nowhere. And so I'm here to say, let's go back to basics. All the indigenous cultures lived in tribes. They lived in sacred geometry buildings. They lived low to the ground. They were always on the floor. Okay, even in Asian cultures, some of the Asian cultures that still follow pure ways, they're living on the floor on bamboo mats. Okay, this is grounding. You need that grounding. And the main reason what it's doing for you, it's actually clearing your field, your biofield of stagnant energies. Okay, if you're on your computer and you're on your cell phone, you're picking up these unhealthy EMFs. They're in your field. You got to clean. It's almost like static electricity. You got to clear it. And how do you do it? You go out in nature and you ground. Sit your butt on a rock. If you're in the beach, go out on the beach. It's one of the greatest areas to ground. If you're in the forest, go and sit next to a base of a tree. You'll have the greatest therapy. You can't pay enough to get that kind of therapy from other places. And I see way too many gimmicks and products being sold out there telling you, oh yeah, use these little gizmos and forego nature. I don't think so. Nothing's going to outdo nature. Nature's king. Okay, so let's get back to basics. You need grounding. It's more important than food or nutrition. So how about you start incorporating that as a habit and watch what happens to your life? And there's another important topic that you're not aware of, but we're being hit. This planet is being hit with cosmic rays coming from the center of the galaxy. This is scientific. This is not, theory anymore. This is actually being proven that this planet is going through energetic shifts. And if you do not keep up with the energetic shifts, your body's going to start falling apart. And that's what I see right now. There's a lot of people not doing well in health, and they think they can meditate their way to evolution, and they think they can do all these labor spiritual practices every day. And I look at them going, you're not going anywhere. Your health, look at your body. Your body's falling apart. So we need to get back to the basics. Grounding is one of your best. So these cosmic rays are coming from the center of the galaxy. They're uplifting, and it's going to feel pretty rough at times. Yeah, it's going to bring up your stuff. And if you are jammed, if you have traumas and cellular traumas, and if you have things you're holding on to, people you're pissed at, these cosmic rays are going to push that up, and you're going to not have a fun time. So you need to clear. And the easiest way of what I tell you, if you don't want to be processing for years, because that doesn't work on a long-term basis, is ground. Mama Earth will heal you, but you need to do it consistently, 3 to 5 days a week. You come out in nature, find a spot, and ground. And I know, life is happening. I got it, but you got to make time. This is more important than nutrition. This is more important than your career and money and all family. This is your number one link to expansion. Okay? And so a lot of people are doing all these laborious practices thinking they're evolving. I'm saying that one of the greatest ones is just align with who you are and come do these simple natural practices. That's how you expand. Mama Earth will help to clear those things out of your field. You just got to be willing to do it. So here, look, I'm in the desert. Check me out. Look, and that's it. I mean, this to me is beautiful. I get to see animals. I've had all sorts of cool animal experiences. I've had coyotes come to within 35 feet of me and not even flinch. I've had lizards come up to my foot. Just 2 minutes ago, I saw an owl in a tree. Okay, like 20 feet away, and it was gorgeous. So you get to have these cool experiences. So all I'm saying is, do this. If you have a backyard, your grass, go lay face first in the grass and just lay. If you're feeling off at any time, go lay in your grass. Go lay in your backyard. It's simple stuff, and it's the best therapy. It's going to top any other energetic therapy, I guarantee you. If you go to practitioners for energy therapies, that's great. Mama Earth is the best healer. I'm sorry. And it will help to bring your frequency up, because if you're not elevating your frequency of your body as these energetic shifts are transforming this planet, you're not going to fare well. And grounding is your easiest way to maintain and elevate your frequency. Is just touch Mama Earth as many days a week as possible for as long as possible. It will make you feel uplifted. It will clear your field, and it will help you to connect and feel part of life. And this is what it's about. So simplify and come back to nature. All the indigenous cultures knew about it, and this will lead you to expansion better than any other thing, better than meditation, better than doing these mantras and all that. That stuff, if it serves you, great, but this is the real nitty-gritty. It's connecting with Mother Earth. This is our lifeline. It's more important than nutrition and food and all these other things. For me, I keep it simple. Align with who you truly are, ground, and watch what happens to your being. I hope this helps you. I mean, this is a very simple process to elevate your frequency to feel better. You just got to be willing to do it. I'm Reno Soriano. I just hit you with a super secret of grounding, and I look forward to serving you soon. I'm the Conscious Health Alchemist, and remember, healthy body, happy soul.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you a little more about getting toxins out of your body, out of your world as much as possible. We already covered how beneficial it is to go organic, grains included, to have the cleanest water possible, but we also need to take a look at what's lurking in our household. And right out of the box in the morning when we get in the shower, if we do not have a chlorine filter, we will absorb a lot of chlorine through our skin, the largest organ in our body. We get out of the shower, we put on deodorant, some national brand that has countless toxins and fragrances that are toxic, goes straight into our bloodstream. These toxic chemicals disrupt us at a cellular level, disrupting our hormones. We don't feel right. We forget what it's like to even feel vibrant and healthy because we've had years and years and years of this toxic load. Unfortunately, since around post-World War II, we've had thousands and thousands and thousands of new chemicals introduced to the human being. So it's really no wonder that we have such a rise in disease decade after decade. It just gets more and more and more because of the toxic world we live in. You want to think about what you're using in your laundry room. I've used dye-free and fragrance-free for years. You want to definitely not use those toxic dryer sheets and those real potent smelling detergents. There's a lot going on with people don't realize the candles they're using, the little plug-in air fresheners, the Christmas trees that they hang, or the little scented things in the cars. All of those are getting inhaled and getting in your bloodstream, and they're causing disruption. The great thing about the human body is that once you begin to back off and eliminate these, it starts to detox itself, and that's really what it wants to do desperately. But because of the world we live in and the large amount of unawareness about this, we just keep piling on more and more and more cancer-causing, hormonal disruptive, toxic chemicals. We want to get back to nature as much as possible. This is what is going to save us on a physical level. We have to get back to what is natural. You may be attached to certain things that smell good or certain things that you use, but I'm telling you, when I went all natural years and years ago, when I would go to someone's house or visit family and I would see the products that they would use, that they would buy at the drugstore, the grocery store, mainstream products, I couldn't relate anymore. Once I got that out of my system, I was like, I didn't realize, it just seemed so unfathomable that I would have to use those products again. You realize that you're immersed in, no offense, but a chemical shitstorm for decades. And you don't necessarily realize it till you step away from it and go to the natural products and detox your body. So that's your challenge. Not only do we have to have the best, cleanest natural foods, organic, but we also have to use natural products on our skin, washing our clothes, fragrances in the house, use essential oils. So we don't have to do it all at once. Try one new product a week that replaces a chemical mainstream name brand product and see how you like it. It'll do your body good. Thank you so much again for joining, and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, and we're back. Day 14, Body, Mind, Spirit Challenge. My name is Jim Standish, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about water, specifically programming water, and water's ability to receive, hold, and transmit a signal, or energy, or thought pattern, if you will. Now, I'm going to direct you to my blog and website, where I did a rather in-depth experiment on this, if you will. And what I did is I took a bunch of samples of water, and I took a magic marker and I wrote things on the bottle. I packaged up those bottles and I brought them to a seminar that I was doing, and I had some anonymous people that I had never met before. We poured the water into a glass and I had them sit down behind the glass and tell me basically what I wrote on the side of the bottle. Sounds crazy, right? I'm just going to direct you to the website. Read the whole story. It is really, what it did for me is it just cemented my conviction in this. I will be honest and confess that I am a huge fan of Peter Schenk's Aquaware software. I have been using Aquaware since the very beginning. I want to say about 10 years. And it's some of those things in life, you have experiences that you believe because they happen to you. And it's fun sometimes to validate that experience with somebody else. So that's exactly what happened to me. I mean, I have been messing with water for years, and I have been programming water for health. I have helped people heal things in their body. Refer back to day 2. I have helped people heal things in their body like broken bones. I had one of my guys break a bone right here in his hand, and we simply took a bottle of water and wrote "heal my bones" on the water. And what he did is he sipped the water and then applied it topically like this. And I said, do it as many times a day as you possibly can. After 30 days, we went back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, obviously, you haven't worked. You haven't. And he's like, oh, I've been working the whole time. What happened was we took the x-rays, and there was no sign of a break after 30 days. It had completely mended. There was not even a hairline fractures. Fairly amazing. That story, as well as some other stories, are available to you down here, right? And I don't want to take the time to go through this whole thing where you guys can look it up on your own time, have your own experience with it, reading about it. What I'm here to do is to really just amp your conviction, right? And that experience of me, bringing waters to somewhere else and having somebody sit down and tell me what I wrote on the bottles. I mean, talk about amping up your conviction. I mean, it was just absolutely, it was incredible. It was something that it just blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. So today, day 14, I want you to practice with this a little bit, okay? So you're going to get a magic marker. Color is not important, only if it's important to you. So if you want to use a red magic marker, a green magic marker, a blue magic marker, it's only important to you. And mess around with this. And I think we have talked time and time and time again, and if you're a fan of Peter's and you're a fan of the MDM show, you know that we always, always, always honor the space in which you exist. Always. Water is sacred. Without water, life would not exist. So let's honor that space. So you take your bottle of water, you're going to honor the space in which it exists, and I want you to play with this a little bit. Like a lot of these things, we talked about the Olympians, that have years and years and years of training to get to where they're going. This is something that I just want you to experiment with. Write some stuff on your bottle. I don't know, and I'm going to leave that up to you as to what you write on the bottle. Go to the website, read the blog, read the story, amp your conviction, play with this. Start writing on your bottle of water for things that you would like to have in your life experience, and let the water deliver it to you. Now, tomorrow, day 15, we're going to talk about structuring water, how important structured water is, and some simple ways that you can structure your water at home so that you can have the best water available to you. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow on day 15.
Hi, I'm Dr. Howard. Yesterday we classified foods as being carb donors, protein donors, and neutral foods. In today's Protect Your Brain episode, I'm going to tell you about carb limits. Here's where a carb limit comes in for me. If I eat a meal that is made up of both protein donors and carb donors that are sufficiently balanced to keep my blood sugar steady, with or without some neutral foods in the meal, then my blood sugar will respond normally to eating the meal as if I were not a diabetic, providing the total carbs for the meal does not exceed my carb limit, which is 50 grams of carbs in a meal. Otherwise, my blood glucose will spike with a diabetic response pattern. Because my carb limit is low for my height, if I plan to design meals that will permit me to have a normal blood sugar response, I need to eat either 4 meals in a day, with each meal providing less than 50 balanced carbs, or 3 meals in a day, with each meal providing less than 50 balanced carbs, plus several balanced snacks that are spread out through the day. To my way of thinking, Eating 4 meals a day that don't spike my blood sugar is much healthier and safer than taking medication. As a side note, if the carbs in a meal are not very close to being protein-carb balanced, then the carb limit will be lower for that meal. In addition, carb limits are specific to each individual. For example, my friend, whom I've mentioned before and who is not a diabetic, but has insulin resistance, also has a carb limit, and hers is lower than mine. She can safely eat a meal that provides a maximum of 35 grams of balanced carbs. Fortunately, she is shorter than I am and requires less food. 4 meals a day that have protein-carb balance easily provides her with sufficient food. 3 meals don't quite provide her with sufficient protein unless a couple of protein-carb balanced snacks are added as needed within a 24-hour window. I don't know yet which comes first, having a carb limit or having symptoms of prediabetes. I suspect that a carb limit may be one of the earliest symptoms of a blood sugar problem. What I don't address later in this series about carb limits will be addressed on my website at www.neurocalibrate.com, www.neurocalibrate.com. Of interest to dieters is that a person gets satiated with less food when a meal has protein-carb balance. It's as if the body wants the balance and will make us continue to eat in the hope that we will ingest a sufficient quantity of balanced food. If not, we'll eventually stop eating when we get too stuffed to eat any more food. I suspect that I gave you more than you ever thought you wanted to know about carb limits. However, knowing about them is important in case your blood sugar control ever gets unstable. This way, if you want to live comfortably as you get older and maintain clear thinking and brain function, you can think about if you might want to start taking care of yourself with a reasonable level of food balancing now, before your options are reduced to the point that healthy meal planning can get difficult. Bless you. I'll be back tomorrow.
Hi, Donna Whittington here from Peace, Love, and Bliss Coaching. So I want to talk about trust. Trust is something that is extremely important with your partner. And for those of you who are without a partner, still very important because you've got to be able to trust yourself. And if you have a partner, you want to be able to trust your partner. And but let's start with trust of self first. In relationships, you got to be able to remember who you are in the relationship, whether you are married, or whether you are just meeting someone for the first time, or if you're single, remain true to yourself. And the ways that we do that is to remind yourself of who you are. Go into the relationship knowing who you are, so you're not having to compromise yourself in the relationship or compromise yourself just to be in a relationship. So trust yourself. And the best way to trust yourself is to follow your intuition. Our bodies are always talking to us, whether it's by the uncomfortableness that we feel, we start getting a little agitated, or our stomach starts to bother us, or our heart starts to pound faster and things like that. When you are in that type of a situation with the flight or fight situation, pay attention. Pay attention to what your body is telling you in all kinds of situations. If you're on a date and you're feeling uneasy and uncomfortable, pay attention. If you are with your partner, your husband, your spouse, your whatever, your significant other, and things just kind of feel out of whack, pay attention. Pay attention. So trust yourself. Trust yourself, and always ask yourself, I feel a little uneasy. What's going on? That's your your cue to stop the conversations, whatever you're engaging in, and say, hey, I need to stop. I need to come back to this situation. I need to come back to this conversation. If you are by yourself, ask yourself when those uneasy feelings come up. Check in with yourself. What's going on? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel uneasy? So there are different ways to trust yourself in relationships, in and out of relationships. And you always want to do that first. Trust of self first. And remind yourself that even if you are in a relationship, you still have to come from within for the person that you are. And once you can bring that to the relationship, then you're better able to communicate. And communicating opens the door for trusting. For those of you who are not in a relationship, practice trusting yourself. So if you choose to be in a relationship, you are better able to be the person that you want to be in that relationship. Be the type of person outside of a relationship so you can go into the relationship being that person. Trust yourself. Take this time and think about trust and how that works in your relationship or without a relationship. Donna Whittington of Peace, Love, and Bliss Coaching. You can always connect with me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Love Connections. Love Connections LLC. You can like that page and send me a message there. I'm also on Instagram as Peace, Love, and Bliss. You can connect with me there on Instagram. You can also send me a direct message there as well. You can send me an email to my Gmail account, and that is peaceloveandblisscoaching@gmail.com. So, trust yourself. Always listen. Pay attention. Thank you.
Hi. Today I challenge you to disengage from everything in your life and every situation. It will broaden your perspective when you're not so attached to anything or an outcome. So one way in which you can do this is when you wake up in the morning, or even right now, imagine that your body is like a costume and everyone around you is just an actor, actress in a movie. And you're actually projecting what you see on the screen. So if this is your costume, and that's your movie around you, what is it that you would like your movie to be? You can change the channel anytime. Play with that. Play with putting on your costume, and what would you like to have your movie be like? Mine's a comedy and I'm the life of the party. And so the more that you affirm what you would like to have in your movie, the more that you get to create that in, it shows up. So what's your movie going to be? Show me. And have fun. Namaste, blessings.